Rambley the Raccoon versus Lloyd the Lion. Choose your side. My money's on Rambley, even though Lloyd was here first. Hello again, people, and today we're talking about the gaming industry's newest attraction, Indigo Park, and why the sweet little raccoon that we all know and love might just be a fraud. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Indigo Park is the latest release in the genre of mascot horror games. You play as an urban exploration enthusiast named Ed who decides to explore this abandoned amusement park. Well, he initially tried to get his friend Laura to come join him, but it looks like he struck out. Sorry, Ed. When you arrive, you find the park in utter disrepair, but somehow still has power. And you later soon realize that this is going to be a long night. By the way, just really quick, why people always gotta investigate stuff at night? Why can't we ever be investigating the creepy abandoned places during the day? I'd even sell for early in the morning, but no, we gotta get extra stupid and go when it's nighttime. Anyway, as soon as you enter the park, you activate the park's artificial intelligence system and company mascot, Rambley.
Hi there, and welcome to Indigo Park, the world's most innovative and engaging family fun experience. I'm Rambley the Raccoon, and it's my job to make sure your experience here at Indigo Park is the most fun it can be.
Also known as the cutest little scrunkly there ever was. No, seriously, this guy is the star of the show for a reason. He's playful, he's upbeat, and he truly cares about the park. However, it seems like Rambley is having some issues.
And it's my job to make sure your experience here at Indigo Park is registered.
The park closed down 8 years ago, and even though the building still has power, it seems that time has had an effect on most of his internal systems. When you meet Rambley, he hooks you up with a critter cuff and he takes you on a small tour of the park. There you get to meet the other mascots of Indigo Park, including Molly Macaw, Finley the Sea Serpent, and Lloyd. Rambley really doesn't like Lloyd, and considering Lloyd's reaction, the feeling is mutual.
Hey there, Lloyd.
Do not shame me with that common folk name. I am the proud, the prestigious, the professional Lloydford L. Lion, actor extraordinaire.
Great act, Lloyd.
Of course it was. I'm the real star.
When Rambley addresses Lloyd, he immediately becomes insulted that he isn't given a proper introduction. He proclaims that he is a prestigious actor. Sorry, I can't roll my R's. Rambley's sudden change in demeanor and the subsequent references to Lloyd thereafter has me confident when I say that these two mascots don't like each other. I'm not very surprised, to be honest. Rambley cares about the park above everything else, while Lloyd seemingly only cares about his own image. Lloyd is a gigantic lion, a predator animal, while Rambley is a little raccoon, typically hunted by other animals. It just seems like these two characters are destined to hate each other. However, this feud goes far beyond just personality differences. Throughout Chapter 1, you find an assortment of collectibles. These come in the form of marketable plushies and other Rambley memorabilia. You can take these collectibles to a Rambley kiosk and see his reaction to them. Right after you escape from Molly Macaw, you travel down this long dark hallway and you find this black and white retro style plush of Lloyd. Taking it to Rambley will cause him to have this reaction.
Ugh, I don't get why we even have those. And why do they only make one of Lloyd? Is it because he's the loudest? I can be loud too! Where's my limited edition throwback plush? Where's Molly's? Where's Finley's? Give this mistake to a child and they'll cry.
Sheesh, Rambley, tell us how you really feel. Wait a minute.
Where's Molly's? Where's Finley's?
That is a very good question. None of the other characters have retro-style plushies. There are other forms of plushies, such as the Golden Rambley, but don't you think that Indigo Park's owners would try to utilize older designs, rather than just make a lazy reskin of their star mascot? That's just it. Rambley isn't the star. In the very first cutscene of the game, we see old footage, presumably of the park's grand opening. Behind Isaac Indigo, the founder of Indigo Park, we see the prestigious actor himself, Lloyd, in the background, and Rambley is nowhere to be found. Well, I'm pretty sure he isn't there. There is another mascot that we can't really see very well, but it doesn't look like Rambley. It looks a lot more like Molly than Rambley. When we arrive at the park, we see that Rambley has replaced the exact same spot where Lloyd used to be. The black and white tone of this footage has a limited aspect ratio, which would imply that this footage goes all the way back to the early 1900s. The fact that the Lloyd plush is in black and white would imply that Lloyd comes from an old Rubber Hose era cartoon. The game itself takes place in the early 2000s. The timeline is seemingly confirmed because during the Rambley Railroad ride, Finley says that he's known Rambley for about 100 years.
Hi, Rambley.
Why the long face and body?
You've known me for 100 years, Rambley. I'm always lost because I'm always longing for a new seashell for my collection.
Which leads me to believe that maybe Rambley was there, but he wasn't the star of the show. During the Rambley Railroad ride, at the very beginning, if you turn around, you can see an image of Rambley and Lloyd shaking hands, and Lloyd is seemingly handing over a piece of paper to Rambley. I believe that there was a change in the main company's mascot, from Lloyd to Rambley, and potentially, maybe Rambley was a brand new mascot altogether, that was specifically made to replace Lloyd. But why? If Rambley was meant to replace Lloyd, I would imagine that if there is ever a change to an intellectual property, the owners want the transition to a new mascot to be as quick and seamless as possible. So I believe that Lloyd was the head of Indigo Park for a long time, and then he was replaced by a younger, cuter, more friendly mascot. I could easily see this being a corporate decision. The higher-ups at Indigo Park want to break ground and bring in the younger audience to maintain their place in the realm of entertainment. So, who do they go with? The loud, self-indulgent lion, who potentially scares children, or the sweet, lovable raccoon who is more identifiable to middle-class Americans. Come to think of it, when you take inventory about all of the mascots at Indigo Park, Rambley stands out. You have a sea serpent, an exotic bird, a lion, and then a raccoon. If Rambley's face wasn't plastered there, then I could almost imagine that he was a non-Indigo brand property. We actually don't need to speculate whether or not Rambley is more likable or not, because you can just look at the reactions of people who have played Indigo Park. Everyone loves this little trash panda, me included. So if Rambley is the one who came in and stole all of Lloyd's fans, why does Rambley hate Lloyd so much? It's quite simple. Rambley doesn't know that he's not the original mascot. If you hover over it, you'll see some initial text that I am almost certain is Ed's reaction to it rather than Rambley's. He mentions these old Indigo cartoons, which is more than likely what the mascots are based on. And the reason why there's only one of Lloyd is because he is Isaac Indigo's original character. Rambley, as we know him, is an artificial intelligence, a malfunctioning artificial intelligence. And I could easily imagine that he either was never told that he wasn't the original mascot, or some of his memory files are corrupted and he simply does not remember. There is also the possibility that Rambley was programmed to hate Lloyd. I could easily see that if there was corporate influence in Rambley taking over as the company mascot, then what better way to do so than to downplay the characters you're replacing? The Rambley Railroad is intended for children to ride, so I wouldn't be surprised if this animosity between these two characters was fabricated in an effort to get Lloyd and potentially Isaac Indigo, his original creator, away from the Indigo brand. Another piece of evidence is the fact that Lloyd doesn't even get to advertise his attraction at the park, even though he absolutely has one. If you go to Lloyd's attraction, everything looks like it's in shambles. Everything looks like it's been packed away. With the amount of things packed up inside of Lloyd's attraction, it seems like that specific area was closed long before the park was. Perhaps it will be revealed in a later chapter that Indigo Park was about to close down before it was bought out by a generous investor, and these are the people who created Rambley. Ultimately, I would never blame Rambley for this. It's not like he had a say in any of this. He probably doesn't even know the truth. I have a feeling that at one point while you're bringing the park back online, you'll stumble onto a recording of Lloyd introducing guests to the park, just like Rambley has been seen doing, and it'll finally hit him. I just hope he doesn't lose himself entirely when he realizes he isn't the true star of the show. It's Lloyd. I hope you all enjoyed this. Which side are you on, Lloyd or Rambley? There's a lot more mysteries to this game that I wouldn't mind making videos about. If you want more videos about Indigo Park, please let me know. Thank you all so much for watching. Goodbye.